Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is April 1st and you know what that means? It's the first of the month challenge. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But before we get on with the video, Braden, we love you so much. We miss you and we're praying for you. So with all of that, let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So I have 4 of these wood boards from Dollar Tree. I think they're like 1.5 by 1/4, an eighth, I don't know, and about 16 inches long. I'm going to use my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue, and I'm going to glue them all together. Then I'm going to take some tops of 5-gallon paint stir sticks that I had. I'm measuring how long I needed them. And then I'm going to use my miter shears to cut them. Now it takes a little bit to cut these and I'm just kind of showing you how I do it. First I do the scoring with my miter shears and then I kind of use the tip of the miter shears to cut the end. And then I flip it over and I'll just kind of keep flipping it, keep making that indentation until it gets cuts it more, I guess is the right way to say it, until it just completely cuts off. And I made 2 of those. And then I'm going to use my wood glue by Type Bond and hot glue, and I'm going to glue those in place. And I marked them so they're 1/2 inch from the top and 1/2 inch from the bottom. And after that, I'm going to paint the whole thing with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. I'm going to do front and back. And once it was all dry, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color elephant and I'm going to go ahead and do some distressing all around the sides and around the top, around the paint stir sticks that I put on the top, and then also right along inside the middle. But when I do the middle here, I did a little more than what I wanted. So once I was done and the paint was dry, I took some of my plaster and I just kind of went over it a little bit just to kind of mute it and soften that look. Then after that, I took one of these Walmart Beehives. You can get these at Walmart, and I'm taking Waverly chalk paint in the color hazelnut, and I'm just going to paint the whole honeycomb and just make sure I go really carefully around those bee cutouts. Then I'm going to take my ink color by Waverly, which is black, and I'm going to paint the body and the head and the antenna of the bees, and I'm trying to make it curve a little bit on the body because a couple of years ago I painted some of these beads and they look like Twinkies to me because they were so narrow. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to take a Silver Lining by Waverly and paint the wings, and then I'm going to take my Maze by Waverly and I'm just going to go ahead and paint in some of the stripes along the body. And once that's all done, I wasn't real thrilled with the way the paint looked, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to distress it. So I took my finger sander here and I'm just going to distress the heck out of this, and I loved it. Then I created these stencils with my Cricut, and I'm going to, I used a Frisco Cricut or Frisco stencil vinyl, and Blake Shelton has a song, you be my honeysuckle, I'll be your honeybee, or something like that. Well, anyways, I wanted to use the word honeycomb instead, and afterwards I thought, wait a minute, that's not a honeycomb. That's a beehive that I have. I'm like, oh well, it works. So I went over it with my Waverly chalk paint and the color ink, and then once it was all dry, I just removed all of the vinyl, including the little pieces that go inside of the letters. After I have that all done, I'm going to use my wood glue here by Type Bond. I'm going to go along each row behind on the back side of that honeycomb, the beehive. And then I'm going to use hot glue on the ends. Of course, the wood glue is for permanent hold. Hot glue is for immediate hold. And then I'm just going to lay that right in the middle of my sign. Look at that. Distressing. I just love it. I was really feeling in the rustic mood this day, and yeah, so I took some raffia and I was gonna tie a knot, and I thought, I'm gonna make it easier for myself. I'm just gonna tie some twine around it, and then I'm gonna make a 2-loop finger bow. I'm going to wrap my fingers, nope, 3-loop. I'm going to wrap it 3 times. Take that tail and come between my fingers, come up around those strands, and then go through the loop that I just made, and then pull super tight. And then I did defuzz it with a lighter, and I'm just going to hot glue that that raffia in place, and then glue the bow on top of it. And then I'm just going to use my stapler to staple in a hanger since that is thicker boards. And there it is. I absolutely love how this came out. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, today is the first of the month, which means it's the first of the month challenge, and this month's theme is Welcome Spring, and I host this every month along with Gwen at Home with Gigi, and she is just so sweet and so amazing. Make sure you check out her channel, subscribe to her if you haven't already, and then make sure you check out the playlist full of some amazing crafters. I'm sure you'll get all kinds of inspiration. Links are in my description box below. Okay, for DIY number 2, I'm going to take one of these signs. I've had this in my stash for years from Dollar Tree. If you can't find these signs, you could use any kind of hexagon sign or mirror that they might have, or it would work with something round or square. It doesn't even have to be hexagon. But I'm going to remove the top layer of paper. I'm going to remove the hanger in the back. I'm going to spritz down that second layer of paper, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to scrape off that paper. But you see it's not coming off very well. I probably needed to let it sit a couple more minutes, but I'm just going to remove as much of it as I can. And then I just spritzed it down some more, and then I just let it wait for about 5 more minutes, and then got the rest of it off. Then I'm going to take some 1/2-inch wood letters from Amazon, and the 1.5-inch wood letters are from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint all of them with Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. And then I'm going to paint that hexagon with Waverly chalk paint in the color maize. Once everything was dry, I used my square ruler to try to help line this up straight. Well, yeah, it's not very straight. But anyways, I'm going to use my Tite Bond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue, and I'm just going to brush it all along the back side of my letters and glue them all in place. I think this part was straight. I think it's when I do the flowers below it that you can even see it there. It's going upwards. It's not very straight. Oh well, this is still really adorable. So afterwards, I took my black marker here. I'm just going to make some little stitch lines all around my sign. And I just think this finishes it up so nicely. And then I'm going to take 17, I think it was, tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to line them all up. I'm going to use my Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue by Tite Bond. I'm going to brush it along the sides and glue them all together. And then after I have them all glued, I'm going to take 6 strips and I'm going to glue them end to end just like that. And I'm going to actually make 4 of these, a set of 4 sets of these 6 strips. I hope that makes sense. And then after that, I'm going to take 6 more, but I'm going to glue 3 of them end to end like that and make 2 strips of 3. And then I'm going to use my Tite Bond again to glue those side by side, those 2 strips of 3. And you'll see me do that here in just a moment. And I'm doing it this way because I hadn't let that set to really dry yet, and I didn't really want to pick them up and move them much because I didn't want them to come undone. So there we go. See, it was kind of coming undone there. So anyways, I let it sit because I went and got me some lunch. And then after that, I took the long strip, the 17 piece. I'm going to look at this. Look at these blocks had so many little boo-boos in them. I couldn't believe it. Anyways, I'm going to put my Tite Bond glue. I'm going to glue a piece, 1 tumbling tower block on each end of those. Then I'm going to take one of my strips of 6 here. I'm going to add my Tite Bond glue to the bottom part of it and glue that to the side. I did that on the other side as well. And then I realized, wait, I need to make, I'm going to now put the glue on the top of this one. I do that on the other side as well. I'm going to add another 6 or strip of 6 on top. And this is where I realized, wait, the end needs to have 2 on top too. So I grabbed 2 more singles and I'm just going to add them on top of each end like you see me doing right there. And then I add all the rest until we have this cute little rectangular box. And I'm going to take my ink color by Waverly. I'm going to paint that as well as the strip of 6 that I have there with that black. Then I'm going to lay that strip of 6 down on the back of my stop sign here, and I'm going to trace it out so I know where to put my glue. And I'm going to use my multi-surface glue again and then some hot glue, and I'm going to glue that strip in place. You see it's not painted because I knew I was going to be gluing it on and it didn't need to be painted. So then after I have that on there, I am going to take some more of my Titebond glue on the bottom and a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to glue this so that it's standing up right in the middle of my box. And to add an extra strength here, I'm going to take 2 more tumbling tower blocks with my Titebond glue and hot glue. I'm going to glue them to the base of my sign here just to give it that extra support. And then after I have that all done, we're going to fill in this box, and I'm just going to fill it in with some floral foam. Oh no, we're going to do something else first. We're going to add some bees. Now these are resin bees that I got from Amazon. I believe they're in my Amazon store, which I have a link in the description box too. And I'm going to take a small one and put it on the very top. Sorry, that's not in frame. And then I'm going to take my marker here. I'm going to just make some little zigzag flying lines. And I just love this. I love doing this. I think it's so cute. And I'm going to do one on the top as well. Make it look like it's coming from the letter P. And then I'm just going to kind of turn it in a circle and then go to the B, back of the B. Then this is where I fill it up, that box, with some floral foam. And then these are some little daisies. I got a package of the daisy heads from Amazon years ago. I'm still working through it, but I am adding some little bit of flower stems from another thing of flowers. So it has some stems to it. And then I'm just going to fill in that box with these little daisies. If you want to recreate this, you could use any kind of flowers you want. I almost use sunflowers. I like to save those for when we're closer to fall, but and I figured let's use daisies since we're close to spring and summer, and that's what I think of daisies. So for spring and summer. Anyways, I'm going to just fill in all the gaps with some Spanish moss, and then I took a couple of those daisies and cut the back off of them and glued them onto my sign. And that's all I did with this. I just think this is so stinking adorable. I absolutely love it. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment box below. Can you hear our neighbor's dog? Oliver likes to, he's a medium-sized dog. He's a nice dog. But Oliver, he likes to run the fence line when he's out. And so he's wishing that I would let him down to go run along the fence line. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. It is April 1st. I am so excited. I love April. I think it's because to me, April is truly the beginning of spring in my mind. I know it starts in March, literally, but for me, it's like April means we are around that corner and winter is behind us. Anyways, I thought I would do my intro this morning outside. It is a beautiful day. We're supposed to be in the 80s, and then we're supposed to have storms tonight. Hopefully no tornadoes. Low chance, so it shouldn't be too bad. But anyways, this weather's been crazy. Last week we had 2 days where we were in the low 90s. I think it was Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, it dropped to 58 as a high. It was like, what is going on? It's just been crazy. But so far this spring, we've been having some really warm days, which is kind of unusual, but I'm kind of loving it. You know me, I love summer and warmth and the sunshine. So yeah, I'm excited about it. But anyways, I'm going to introduce myself to those of you that are new here. I am Brenda, and this is my sweet, sweet Oliver. And we are so glad that you joined us today. And for those of you returning, well, you know, I just love you all to the moon and back. And I appreciate all of you guys so much for checking in and watching my videos. It means the world to me. So before we get on with the video, just a quick reminder, make sure you're still subscribed because my numbers dropped by like 3, 4. It's so weird. Anyways, make sure you're still subscribed. And then if you like this video, make sure you give me that thumbs up, comment, hype this video, all that fun stuff. And for those of you that are new, if you enjoy home decor on a budget, I'd love it if you'd hit that red subscribe button and become part of our YouTube family. So I'm going to quit chit-chatting and we're going to continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 3. So I have 2 of these Hexagon pieces from Dollar Tree. I got these either last year or the year before. I'm running my little Cricut spatula just underneath that top trim, and I love it when it goes under the paper because that means it's going to pull up the paper too. So I really try to get it as much under the paper as I can, and I'm just going to get that to where it loosens and I can lift it right off and then just pull off all that extra paper that's hanging out. And then I'm just going to use that Cricut spatula to scrape off any of that extra paper that's on the front and then spritz it down like the previous DIY. Just spritz it down, let it sit for about 5 minutes. While it was sitting, I just went ahead and took my Cricut spatula to just remove some of that paper that was on there. That way we had more of that surface to glue instead of gluing on paper. I'm going to, again, just use my paint scraper to scrape off that excess paper. And then I'm going to paint it. Well, I was going to paint it all with my Snow White color, and I started to paint one. I thought, wait, I don't want this to be Snow White. I want this to be maize. So I ended up painting the rest of it, both of them, maize. Then I'm going to take some fabric from Dollar Tree. Now, if you can't find this fabric or if you don't have this, you could use any kind of fabric that has a bee theme or yellow colors. You could use a napkin. You could use paper. Just make it your own if you want to recreate this and if you have those hexagon pieces. But as you saw, I traced out my fabric and cut it out, and then I'm using my Titebond glue to glue it in the middle. I'm using this brush that Kathy Jo got me. I absolutely love it. It's like a rubbery tip, so it makes spreading this glue so nice, and I just really love it. Then I'm going to, after I had my fabric on there, did I not show putting my fabric on there? I guess I did. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go ahead and add my trim piece here. I just add my Titebond to the back of it, and then I'm going to add that to the fabric that was glued on. And then I'm going to glue the two together just using my Titebond glue because this sets within 5 minutes, I'd say. It's pretty quick, and I'm just going to glue those pieces together. And then once they were set, I took a square from Dollar Tree that comes in the pack of 6, traced it out on the back, and I'm going to use my Titebond glue again to glue it in place. After that glue is set, I did go over it with my maize color too so that it blends better with the back. Then I'm going to take a bumblebee wood cutout from Dollar Tree. I'm going to fill in that hole with my lightweight spackling. This one I'm just going to paint with Waverly Chalk Paint in the color ink. I'm going to paint everything except for the bottom part. I'm going to, once the wings are all done here, I'm going to paint 2 of those stripes yellow and then the middle stripe with the black. I am not putting... well, wait a minute. What do I do to this one? Okay, I did do a little detail. I took a white marker and I'm going to add some little lines and dots, a line, a dot around the wings. And then I decided to put it around the inside part of the wings. Then I'm going to take some floral foam and I'm going to put it in the middle of my hexagon here. And I'm going to add it with some of these little mini roses from Hobby Lobby. Again, if you want to recreate this, you could use any flowers that you have, but I just thought I wanted it to be colorful, and I just thought this would be pretty. It'd be really great with some flowers too, or daisies. And then I added some of the leaves that come off that pick, and I just added that around so you couldn't see the floral foam. And then I'm just going to glue my bee right onto the side there. And then I turn it over. I should have done this before I add all the flowers. It would have made it a little easier. But I'm just going to staple in some twine and for a hanger. And I'm not making it very long because I didn't want it to be very long. And that's all I did with this. And I really love how this came out. It's so pretty. And it's just, I don't know, I just think it'd be a nice piece to have in your home. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, it is a time for celebration of your recreations, and we have Liz. Look at her beautiful bee setup she has there. She did a great job. Thank you, Liz. This is a perfect video to show that on, right? And then we have Robin. She downloaded those images from Kathy Joe's video, and look how pretty they are. I love them, Robin. Thank you so much for sharing those. And then we have Brandy. She has a YouTube channel called Trash Panda Treasures 4. Check her out, but these are some of her creations that she recently created as well. Okay, and if you have something you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address, which is rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can always send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. I would be happy to showcase them for you. Okay, DIY number 4. So for this last one, I'm going to take one of these wood chunky pieces from Dollar Tree. I think this is like a 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch by, I don't remember. I think it was 10 inches long. And I created another stencil. And I normally don't like to do more than one Cricut DIY in a video, but I didn't have any stickers that were small enough for this. So I just used my ink to go over that stencil. I'm adding some more of these little bees. I love these bees. They're so stinking cute. But man, I was having a hard time holding on to them. I was dropping them all over the place. But after I had them glued on, I went ahead and made some stitch lines along the bottom, as well as some stitch lines around the top. And then I had this garland of wood beads that they were a little smaller than the other wood bead. This is from Dollar Tree as well. And I'm going to paint the middle of this yellow. Now I'm going to do the antennas black, and the wings I did white, but I'm going to just paint over the areas that I'm going to add the black to. And then I'm going to do the white on the wings, and then I added some lines here. Oh, I'm going around the edges, but I'm also going to make some lines in the middle. I thought I showed that too. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, you guys, I decided to make a face. Oh, it was horrible. I made some little eyes. The eyebrows look okay, but the mouth was really big and it didn't look quite right. Now I wish I would have kept it the way it was. I guess this is where I'm making the lines here. I don't know what I was going for. I don't know if I should have done that or not, but I did. But then I went ahead with the line and the dot all around the wings. And then I was like, okay, I've got to fill in that hole because that looked really silly. I thought about putting a bow there, but it just didn't work. And then when I put in that spackling, I painted over it, and I painted over the face to redo it, and it just made a huge mess. So I had to redo the face. I think it's worse than it was before. I just left it alone. But I took some wire here. I don't know what size wire this is. I got it from Hobby Lobby in the jewelry section. I poked a hole in the top of my wood piece here, and I'm just going to poke that wire into that hole and then glue. I kind of folded it, bent it, and glued that on top with my hot glue. And then I'm going to glue it to the back of my bee, just like you see. And then I'm just going to glue some of the daisies around the bottom part to cover that up. I did something like this a couple of years ago on a book stack, and I just loved the little bee on the wire, and I just thought it was so cute. So I thought, well, I would have got to make a happy bee. Well, I'm not good at drawing faces, you guys. Oh my goodness. But anyways, it still came out pretty cute. I really love this one too. I hope you do too. Let me know what you think about that one and which one was your favorite today. And make sure you check out Gwen's channel as well as the playlist. And before you go, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give me that thumbs up, comment, hype, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you're still subscribed. And with all of that, you guys, I will be back again on Sunday with another video. So with all of that, have a blessed weekend, and I will see you, and a happy Easter, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.